and Never Again follows a Holocaust survivor and a former radical Islamist as they come together in a cutting-edge feature-length documentary exposing and combating the alarming increase in anti-Semitism around the globe. Here with more on it is the film's producer, Rick Eldridge, along with one of its main subjects, Kasim Hafitz. Rick, where did the title Never Again come from?
Well, never again is a phrase that you see in the Jewish community specifically, and in Israel you'll see it in numerous places. And it refers to the Holocaust as an exclamation point of never again. We could never allow this to happen again. We've added a question mark to the end of the name because we see what's happened in our world today. We see what's going on with anti-Semitism, with the violence, with the things that are going on. We added the question mark as a, really, could this happen again? So it's never again, question mark.
Kasim, a recent survey showed that 45% of Americans don't know 6 million Jews died in the Holocaust. How is that possible?
I think there's a mixture of things at play. I think there is a lack of education on the topic. I think there is apathy, and people just have short attention spans. We live in a society where everything is split second, from the news we consume to social media, and this seems very much out of sight, out of mind. And it's sad because when you then have anti-Semitism rising or you have issues of bigotry in society, people don't know the history. They don't realize what this is the start of. They don't see the end result of this hatred, and that's both scary and dangerous.
Rick, why is this the right time for a film like Never Again?
I think if we look at our world today and we see violence, we see confusion, we see chaos in many ways happening in our cities, even across America. We could see this almost as a parable or as an example of what's happened to the Jewish people as we tell two stories very different. We see a radical view of life. We see a Holocaust survivor who's, as a small child, was pushed away in a cattle car to Auschwitz, this place that was killing Jews. And as we see these stories almost as a parable of today, we see cultures, we see differences, and hopefully in today's world, as we're trying to come to terms with who we are and what we really do believe, that there'll be a sense of acceptance of maybe even celebrating differences. We may look different, we may think different, we may believe different, but there's so many things that we can learn and grow from each other through. And the throughput message of the movie is love, not hate. And in a world today where we're seeing a lot of hate, we hope that maybe people would take a look at something differently, as Kasim did, as he went on a journey to learn about these people that he hated and find out, why do I really hate them? And along the way, he decided, they're not that different from me.
Kasim, as one of the main subjects in the film, tell us more about your story and your journey in the film.
So the film documents my background up until today, I guess. I grew up in the UK and was radicalized from a young age from the messages I was hearing, the ideas that I was absorbing, and I just grew up with those and they became truths. So by the time I was a teenager, I had these ingrained hatred, especially towards the Jewish people, and I had nothing which was challenging this narrative. There was nobody who was going, well, actually, this is the reality, and I didn't know anybody Jewish, so they had become the other in my mind. And the movie documents how that changed, how I ended up going to Israel and seeing what was happening firsthand, meeting Jewish people firsthand for the first time, and the change that resulted in, and how that enabled me to leave behind years of toxic hatred which had become my life, in search of, one, better understanding of others, and also promoting a message of love and harmony.
Rick, after making a film featuring a Holocaust survivor, what have you learned about the best way to combat hatred?
I think, through seeing Irving and his real love for life, he has an incredible vibrance. And, many times we don't appreciate the things we have until they're about to be taken away from us. And you see that in Irving, and it comes right off the screen. The energy, the vibrance, the acceptance of others, and the love for life. And yeah, I think that story, and then the coming together of Kasim and Irving, beginning to accept each other and understand each other a little more. I think they're incredible messages that hopefully will help us model that maybe in our own lives, in our own walks, in our own communities, our own cities, to learn more about others and appreciate the things around us and the people around us.
Kasim, who should see Never Again?
Everyone. Everyone should see this movie. And the way it's being produced, the job that Rick has done, he's made it accessible to everybody, where families can go see this film. Because look, when we talk about the Holocaust, it's a very difficult topic, and it's the atrocities that happened, but it's been made in a way which doesn't shy away from these important issues, but it's accessible to the whole family. So we can start having these very important discussions about dehumanization, about the Holocaust, about incitement at an age where young minds are really being shaped and formed, so they're aware of them. And it's important, an important message also is that if we're not stepping up to educate young people, if we're not stepping up to get the truth out there, who is going to fill that void and what messages are going to fill that void? So this movie really is accessible to everybody, and I'd recommend that everybody go see it.
Gentlemen, we appreciate your time this morning and thank you for joining us. Never Again is in theaters today and on Thursday. Go to neveragainthemovie.com for more information. Never Again, a proud sponsor of Las Vegas Morning Blend.